Good morning from Gilly Air, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy breathing and mindful actions. Now, I know I'm in a windy and loud spot with the ocean right beside me, but I couldn't resist making at least one more video that is in my favorite area. Favorite area meaning because it's at the ocean. I'm at a lovely restaurant, and I've never actually eaten here, but it's always been so friendly, and they've got a wonderful menu. And I'm not here to market any restaurant, but if you come to Gilly Air, I'm sure you'll see a place which includes the title zipping in. But anyways, so that I hope that you get to enjoy or experience even through this video. So for the view, this is the restaurant, and this is the ocean. So you can imagine why I would love being here and sitting here, and I wanted to share it with you. Today I wanted to actually share a quotation that I had posted on my social media, on LinkedIn and Facebook, and had a really nice response. So I wanted to share it with you here too. And the first quotation, this is the post that I had posted, is by Bhishma, and I guess you would have to know a little bit about mythology to understand what this name is all about, and I won't explain that, but the quotation is wonderful. It says, "The greatest virtue is to bear insult without resentment. The greatest virtue is to bear insult without resentment." I find this lovely because in terms of the oneness idea, this is the idea that, even if someone says something, I don't like you, I don't like how you speak, I don't like how you look, I don't like the religion you practice, I don't like the family you're from, I don't like the country you're from, anything, it's an insult, or I don't like the work that you do, I don't like the home that you live in, anything. And maybe it's not by words, maybe it's by seeing how their actions are, how their looks are around you, how their thoughts might be feeding how they look at you or speak with you or act with you. This is an interesting awareness that we all have people that have insulted us somehow. It's and perhaps we have insulted others too, consciously or not consciously. And then to bear insult without resentment, because again, we can all know that when we have insulted someone unconsciously, it has not been an intention to insult someone, and yet it happens. And sometimes we can give someone a dirty look, and it's just because of something we're thinking. And if that person holds a grudge about that dirty look, which had nothing to do with them, of course, it pushes that energy out into the world. And this is something that I talk a lot about, and I want to make sure that we also focus on how it's the same for it. This oneness idea is about treating each person the same. So, that person I don't really know, so if they give me a dirty look, it's okay. But if it's my family member, they should know better, and they should know me, and they should not be like that, because that's not how we raised our kids, or our parents should not behave that way. Whichever way, there's a lot more judgment when it comes to family. And either way, it's the whole energy of what are we emitting. So if we feel insulted, we emit an energy that is not very happy, and that energy, just even our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, those permeate through the world, and they affect the people closest to us, or even strangers. And so this is, as you know, something that I speak about regularly, and it's certainly something that Vedic teaching speaks about regularly too. And it's interesting that I was reflecting this morning about this whole idea in terms of spirituality or religion. And I know that I feel that every religion started with a base of spirituality. Yet, we'll notice that as we become more confident about what we've learned, we turn it into a religion, and that religion actually has a lot of judgment of people who are not that religion. And it's interesting that here, when I walk through Gilly Air, there's certainly, I would say, the most common question I get here, just like in Bali, is, are you single? Are you married? Do you have kids? So those sorts of ideas. And the second most common is, are you Muslim? And it's interesting because I always say I have Muslim in my family, yes, and I don't relate to one religion or another. I respect all religions, all spirituality, all people who respect each other. And that's one thing that I was reflecting on this morning about religion and do we respect one another? Because this whole idea of bearing insult without resentment for religions or groups or communities or countries that think that, oh, you know what, that country did this to us, that person did this to us, that person is not this religion, almost allow and condone resentment and way beyond resentment, aggression. And subconsciously, we might be having our own aggression against people too. And so we can see it when things come to war, but of course we can stop it much earlier than that if we start looking at, are we holding any resentment? And this is such a wonderful space to work from for so many different things, but certainly most of you know that I work with grief recovery too, and in this, it's all about to feel our emotions, to make sure that we're helping our own health, our own physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and helping the energies of the people around us. And that usually is the people that are most on our mind. They're the ones that are going to be affected by our energy. If we're not in a pure space, we are sharing our not pure space with everyone, and especially the people that are most important to us. So today I wanted to make sure I shared that quote here, and I also wanted to end with this quote because I'm also often asked indirectly about these sorts of ideas, and I hope that you understand what I'm saying when I mention that I'm asked about these sorts of ideas. I will probably make a video in the future about this to explain further, but for now, this quotation is by Tyler Kent White, and it says, "Never apologize for burning too brightly or collapsing into yourself every night. That is how galaxies are made." So burning too brightly, it makes sense for anyone that is, showing something really wonderful. And of course, I feel really wonderful here in Gili Air or in Bali or Indonesia. I'm very happy. I feel really wonderful. And yet, there is a collapse into the self too. Not only going to sleep, but there's also the ease and the unease of each day. And I want to make sure that no one is misled by, wow, what a wonderful life that person is living. Yes, I am. And so are you. And all we have to do is focus on the things that are most important and most precious. And I will tell you here in Gili Air, even though I've shared a little bit of what people ask me, I can tell you that it cannot be put into words, the love and compassion I felt from the community here. And there are so many unique and wonderful experiences, which again, that too, I will probably make a separate video about. Today, I would love for you to give yourself some ease and understand yourself that when you're shining very brightly, it's a beautiful thing. And when you collapse, so those times that are not so easy, you might be sad, you might be angry, you might be sleeping. It doesn't matter. All of those things are part of your evolution, our collective evolution, and it's how galaxies are formed. So I wish you a fantastic day reflecting on that, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.